Hey guys, welcome back to JC Radio. Just got myself and Alex today. John busy with whatever John's got going on, so he won't be here today, but you got the two of us.
Yes, you do.
Which means we're probably going to be talking some anime stuff.
And movies.
And some movie stuff.
Really, that's the only big news that's come out lately anyway.
Not really anything like with what's out right now, because we've kind of mentioned that there were only two things that came out last week, and both of them kind of unimpressive. So it's mostly possibly what's coming up this week, if this comes out before then, or trailers that came out.
Yeah, like we were talking about before we got on here, the only two movies that I really want to see Fulton Theaters not getting.
Yeah,
unfortunately. Jumanji I do want to see.
Jumanji?
Jumanji, yeah, whatever. I like Jumanji. I love that universe, so I'd go see that regardless. But
I haven't seen the first one they've done with the reboot, so I have no idea what's going on.
Oh, they did it. It was very good and very tasteful towards Robin Williams' character.
That's why I didn't watch it, because I was like, man, this isn't the same thing.
Yeah,
but I've heard it was actually really good, so I probably need to watch it.
It was really good, and they paid homage to him in a really good way.
Yeah, all right.
But, our movie theater's not getting Uncut Gems with Adam Sandler and Clint Eastwood's
Richard Jewell.
Yeah, Richard Jewell movie, which both of those I really want to see.
Yeah, coming out this coming weekend, the weekend of, what is this, the 14th, I guess, is this weekend?
Yes.
Yeah. We've got 5 major releases coming out. We've got Black Christmas, which I don't really know what to say about it.
Christmas horror movie.
Yeah, it's a Christmas horror movie that takes place in a sorority.
Yeah.
Take that with what you will.
Yep.
We've got Jumanji, The Next Level, I believe is what it's called.
I think you're right.
So, I mean, you can't go wrong with The Rock and Kevin Hart and Jack Black. So,
especially The Rock and Kevin Hart playing old men.
That too. Nothing about that can go wrong. I haven't seen the first one, but it still can't go wrong. They're hilarious. We've got Uncut Gems, Adam Sandler movie coming out. Apparently going to get him an Oscar nomination from what I'm told. Whether it does or not, we'll see after it comes out. It looks super dark and serious, which I'm not used to with Adam Sandler. So
there's only one other movie that's been serious that he's done good, and he missed the Oscars by a finger.
What was the other one?
Punch Drunk Love.
I haven't heard of that one. I should have probably, but
pretty
much everything I know of him is his comedy.
Yeah, it was a good one.
Okay. We've got Richard Jewell coming out, which if you don't know the story behind him, seriously look it up. I'm not going to delve into it because
it's a long story and one that will probably tick a lot of people off.
Yeah. Short version, this dude got screwed by, literally everybody.
Yeah.
And then the last one we had coming out was, I don't even remember, even though I just looked at it, because I know there was a 5th one. Bombshell. That's what the other one was. Not that I know much about it, but we have Bombshell coming out.
We're also not getting that one at the Fulton Theater.
Nope. We got Jumanji and Black Christmas, which, if you're a Fulton listener, I know this might tick you off, but I don't know why we got Black Christmas. We don't have the demographic for that to succeed in our theater.
But in all honesty, Richard Jewell and Uncut Gems wouldn't have made it either. I think Richard Jewell had a better shot of making it, but
probably
not Uncut Gems.
Yeah, no. Nothing against Black Christmas. It might be a great movie, but 21 Bridges looked phenomenal, and it didn't do crap in our theater because we don't have the demographic.
Yeah. But
this past week, we had 2 movies that came out. Neither one any good. We had
Playmobil.
We had Playmobil the movie, which if you don't know what that is, basically Playmobil is a toy company. It's essentially Lego ripoff. Sorry, Playmobil, but you are.
Yeah.
And so clearly their movie is like a Lego movie ripoff. It tanked real hard. We literally had it for a week and it's already gone. And the other one was The Aeronauts. I'm pretty sure that was an Amazon Prime movie that was released in theaters. I don't know. All I know is it's about people that made the highest ascent in a hot air balloon at one point. I don't know anything more about it. We didn't get it. We got Playmobil, which didn't do anything. I don't think the Aeronauts would have done anything for us.
I doubt it.
We did have several trailers come out this week. If you want to hop into that, Alex, because you and John were the ones that were like, yo, Cody, watch these trailers. And I went, maybe.
I got you to watch them, so don't say
Yeah.
that.
Well, you got me to watch them because I was having difficulties with my computer. But before that, I went, maybe.
But let's go with
Which one you want to start with?
let's go with Wonder Woman 1984.
Wonder Woman 84. Got it.
So, looks good. I have one problem with it, which is probably a big problem, but I think the movie's going to explain it in a different way than what I'm thinking. But if you watched it, you can notice that someone that died in the first one is in the sequel.
Yeah, what you doing, Chris Pine?
Yeah, Steve Trevor is somehow
We don't
back.
even have to be like, oh, don't say it because spoilers. You had plenty of time at this point to watch it. If you haven't, well, that's on you.
Yeah, and it was the highest grossing female superhero movie ever.
Yeah.
So
what the F, Chris Pine? Why are you back? You dead.
Yeah.
I haven't even watched the movie, and I know you dead.
yeah, like blew up in a plane, showed it and everything.
Yeah.
And he's back. Which, granted, if you watch the trailer, Maxwell Lord is going to be the main villain on top of Kristen Wiig portraying the cheetah, which I think is a good pick, by the way.
Could be.
But if you guys don't know, Maxwell Lord in the comic books is a hugely strong telepath. So I don't know if Steve Trevor's actually going to be back, or if it's literally going to be in Wonder Woman's head the whole time to throw her off.
Kind of like an illusion.
Yeah, kind of like you can only see him type of thing.
It could be. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
We only know what the trailer shows. He's in it a lot.
He is
from
in it
the
a
looks
lot.
of it, but, this dude could really be effing with her mind right now.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's just because the guy that got Maxwell Lord, or to portray Maxwell Lord, isn't that big. But you have Gal Gadot, who clearly can hold her own movie, first one. And Kristen Wiig, who has clearly held multiple female-driven roles. So, I don't understand why they were pushing Chris Pine so much, but I trust Patty Jenkins, so I'm going to see it.
Yeah, no.
But I don't like the Steve Trevor play. I think they should have left him dead.
Yeah. If you have been listening, I'm a DC fan, so you're probably like, how have you not seen Wonder Woman 1? Well, because I'm lazy and I haven't taken the time to sit down and watch it. But I will before this one comes out.
Yeah.
Which means in 2 months I have to have this watched because this comes out in February.
Yeah, it's a quick one. They haven't done much marketing on this one yet.
No, but I don't know if they need to. I think people know it was coming, and since the first one did well, people are like, yo, we just waiting when's this released.
That is true. But going back to another sequel, one that's 30 years in the making.
Well, is it really a sequel?
It has to be because they pretended like the other one didn't exist.
But I don't
no
know if
mention.
I guess it'd have to be a sequel. I don't really know what else I'd call it. So yeah, you're right. It's just It also sounds weird calling it a sequel.
Yeah, it does. But Ghostbusters Afterlife trailer finally dropped.
That's what they're calling it.
Yeah.
I never saw the Afterlife part of it. I just saw Ghostbusters.
Yeah, Ghostbusters Afterlife. So if you notice in the trailer, our main protagonist is a young female. I think it was a female. I can't remember. The person also kind of looked like Wolfang off of Stranger Things.
Well, he was in it.
I know he was in it, so I couldn't tell. Anyway, going back to the main story, I think she is the granddaughter of Harold Ramis's Egon, and that's Egon's house / laboratory where he stored all the ghost busting equipment.
Could be.
And your main Sage character is going to be Paul Rudd, who knows everything.
Yeah, because they showed up and he was like, "Ooh, cool replica,"
and he's like, "Oh, this isn't a replica. Who's your grandpa again?"
Yeah.
So it's I bet she's Egon's granddaughter, which is cool. I like that. But I'd like to see the old cast come back together and do something.
That's only partially possible.
Well, that's why I said I think it's her grandpa because her grandpa passed away and left her the house. So I think they're paying homage to Egon in that manner.
To whoever played him,
Harold Ramis.
That one.
Yeah. So that's what I think.
It'd be cool if Bill Murray and other dudes showed up.
Dan Aykroyd and oh my gosh, who plays Winston?
No idea. I've seen Ghostbusters once.
I can't think of the guy who played Winston. Oh my gosh.
Oh well.
Anyway, but it looks good. I'm gonna go see it. So
sure. I should probably watch the other ones, but I've only seen the first one, so
you can skip the second one.
and be fine for this one, or like is
I
there
think
one
so.
after 2?
Just watch the first one. That's the only good one.
I've watched the first one.
That's the only good one.
It's been a while. I don't remember 90% of the movie, but sure.
That's all right. Like,
Yeah, okay.
It's kind of like Terminator. There's only probably been about 2 good ones.
Sure.
I know John would fight me on that.
But John's not here, so we're not getting into it because I don't care enough.
Then our final trailer, we got a Ryan Reynolds fourth wall breaking comedy action film.
And no, this is not Deadpool 3.
Yeah, and it's not Deadpool 3. It is called Free Guy.
I don't really know what to make of it.
It's kind of funny. I like it.
It looks great.
So
I just don't know what to make of it. I have no idea what's going on.
Ryan Reynolds, I'm assuming, plays a program in this video game that goes rogue.
Essentially,
that's what it is.
It basically looks like, it does take place in a video game. They clearly stated that in it, but it looks like he pretty much is like, yo, why the heck do we keep doing the same thing all the time? Screw that.
Yeah, he becomes sentient.
Yeah.
So, kind of cool. I don't know. It looks funny.
It's Reynolds. It can't not be funny.
Yeah.
I say that, but Green Lantern wasn't funny. But that one wasn't trying to be funny either.
No.
So, we're just going to forget about that.
Yeah, even though Mark Strong did play good Sinestro.
That still doesn't fix the movie.
It doesn't.
Either way, looks solid.
Yeah,
When does that one come out?
I thought it said April 2020, but...
Okay, so we've got Wonder Woman in February. That one in April. When was Ghostbusters? Did it have a release date?
It just said 2020.
Okay, so it's sometime maybe late 2020.
If I'm willing to bet that one's going to be like in May. Like, I don't think they'll wait till October to release that to get that Halloween vibe. I think they'll try to get a blockbuster feel for it.
You can have a blockbuster late, but I don't know if they want to try and compete with whatever the big summer movie's going to be. I don't even know what the big one this summer's supposed to be.
Black Widow comes out in May.
I wouldn't think that'd be the big Marvel one of the summer, though.
I wouldn't either.
But I haven't heard anything else either. Like, I have no idea what the big one this summer's supposed to be. Well, I say this summer, 2020 summer.
I guess Wonder Woman.
That's in February.
Oh, yeah, that's in February, so...
And that's not a Marvel one either.
Well, it doesn't have to be Marvel to be the big blockbuster.
Yeah, but that's what it's been the last how many years now?
True point.
Was going to be the big Marvel movie of the season, along with all the other ones sprinkled throughout the year.
Eternals is supposed to come out next year, but I don't know when that one is. That one might be
a movie?
Yeah, that one might be your late,
Could
July.
Be like a late push one. Okay.
Late July, early
We'll
August.
have to see what they come out with for the summer blockbuster of the year.
I don't know. It's going to be a weird year not having Marvel.
There'll be Marvel stuff, but who knows which one's going to be the go-to Marvel movie.
That's true. And then you got Star Wars in less than a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, if you're in Fulton, we're already selling Star Wars merch, and no, it's not cheap. You know how a soda cost you like $5 for a large? Add another $4 to it. And yes, I'm not joking. It's literally $10 for the Star Wars cup.
It's all right. I got my Star Wars fix on Disney Plus.
There we go.
Mandalorian.
Well, you got any other, movie news? Because we didn't have anything to talk about what came out or really what's coming out because, we have to wait and
the
see
only
what's
other one
coming.
I saw was they released the final trailer for Antlers, that horror,
you
new horror movie.
About that.
I missed the October talk that we talked about cryptids.
Yeah.
And this, ironically, I found this trailer the same day that one went up on air, and it was about the Wendigo.
Yeah.
Ironically, I thought that was really weird.
It looks good. It looks creepy as F, but it looks good.
Yeah, this new one, it's clearly stated that this is a Wendigo because they have a tribesman come in and look at the boy in the house and.
Yeah, but they don't really ever say, it's a wind. Oh, did they?
They did in this trailer.
Yeah,
this trailer, they're talking
they officially
about
are yeah, that's a Wendigo, bruh.
Oh, yeah, and they're by the water, which is another big myth about a Wendigo, how they're birthed through the water.
So basically everything, even before they said it, you're like, yep, that's a Wendigo.
Yeah, so far as too much in the trailer, there's people in the background whispering Wendigo. It sounds creepier whenever they do it. than when my chubby butt does it. But
Oh yeah, it's like which commercial am I thinking of? Progressive commercial. There's a Progressive commercial out there right now where they all walk out of the cornfield and they talk calmly and clearly, trying to calm people down.
Yes.
And it sounds like Children of the Corn creepy crap. And Jamie's like, did anybody else hear anything creepy while we were in the corn? They're like, no, what are you talking about? And then you just hear, Jamie.
Exactly. But this movie looks super creepy. And I didn't know this at the first trailer, but I didn't know it was Guillermo del Toro.
Oh, it's a Guillermo del Toro movie?
Yeah, so like that creature is going to look amazing.
Because he just did Scary Stories, didn't he?
He did Scary Stories, Lady in the Water, Hellboy 2, and
he did do Hellboy 2 and that
Pan's
one.
Labyrinth.
Oh, he made that creepy hand thing?
Yes.
All
so
right.
like his creatures are on point.
Oh, yeah. Phenomenal director. It ought to be good then.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Scary Stories, but I mean, from what I understand, that stuff was creepy.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it was PG-13, but I heard it, like, what you imagined as a kid, how creepy these things looked, like, in the artwork in the books, he, like, stuck to it to a T.
I hope so, because that artwork was creepy.
Yeah, no, I've heard it was good. We need to watch it.
Oh, I'm down to watch it.
But anyways, that all for movie stuff, I guess, at this point?
That's all I got out of it.
All right, well, for you anime people out there, and if you know me personally, you know I love my anime. Alex, you also an anime fan, I believe, correct?
Yes, I am.
So, my favorite show, anime, at the time, probably has to be Fairy Tail. Like, hands down, nothing else even comes close.
Mine's up there on, like, my favorite. It's definitely in my top 5, but I've been watching the crap out of My Hero Academia.
I haven't started on that one. I need to, but I haven't.
Oh, it's good.
Now that I finally have Hulu to watch, I probably really should get on that.
Yes.
But like anything, I just keep rewatching the same things over and over again. Which, by the way, Netflix, get more of Fairy Tail. If you don't know why I'm saying that, Netflix has literally had the first 50 episodes for like 6 years. And
they're honestly probably waiting until it's done, and they're going to buy the license when it's done.
I hope, because gosh, is it annoying just going back and watching 50 episodes and then having to find it online again. But anyways, if you haven't watched Fairy Tail, it's an action, adventure, magic / love anime. And I throw the love in there because it is a big part of it.
Love trumps everything.
Only a little friendship trumps everything, but there's a lot of relationship side stuff that people pair together.
That is true.
And the new season really pushes some of that. It doesn't necessarily like push it in a bad way, but you see more of it.
See, I haven't got to watch the new season yet.
See, I'm not going to spoil too much for you. But there is one thing I'm going to have to spoil because I can't talk about it without spoiling it.
Oh, spoilers don't bother me.
Okay.
So just prepare your ears, people.
If you're not one of those people that is into the shipping, if you don't know what that means, basically putting two people in the show into a relationship, you're probably not going to like this episode. And most of the time, I'm not all that into it. But this show, there's a bajillion of them to pick from. So I kind of got into it in this show. So basically, this time I'm going to argue who I think my favorite is. We'll see what the internet says. And Alex will probably argue who his favorite is. And we'll kind of see what everybody's looking at. Internet, clearly, if you haven't looked at it, the internet hands down puts the main two characters as the top relationship.
So
why? I don't know.
Natsu and Lucy.
Yeah, they put Natsu and Lucy as the best relationship in the show. I don't understand why. Like, I get it's a good one, but it's not the best one. And if you watch the show, I think you'll understand my point when I get to mine.
Okay.
Essentially, I mean, one website says, I can't describe their love in words. Natsu is a prince in shining armor, and Lucy is a princess. Their love is amazing. Even hero Mashima ships these two together. Natsu always risked his life to make Lucy happy. He saved her, even saved her celestial spirits. They deserve first place. I get that. But there's a couple in here that, to me, is hands down better, and I'll get to them. But, I don't know, what are your thoughts on this being the number one on the internet?
I can see it, and I also see it from a standpoint of like people who don't necessarily dive deep into the show.
Okay.
like they just see it and they're like, oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But like when there's another side character that fits Natsu better, or Lucy, because I feel like Lucy fits better with a different person as well.
Yeah. I mean, there's one other site where people actually get to vote, and they have it at number 4, which I respect the number 4 more than I do the 1, but a lot of them put it as number 1.
I'd have to hear the top 3 before that one.
Well, we'll go with what the number 1 is because it was number 2 on the other website I was looking at, and that's Urza and Jalal.
I wondered if that one was going to be
which
on
I
there.
don't understand why that's number 2 or 1. Like
I could see it, but it's not number 1 or 2.
no, like I could argue maybe it's a top 5 one, but like they literally don't do enough with it for me to be like, yeah, that's like the best relationship in that show because, well, for one, at one point he was literally trying to kill her.
Yeah,
which is gonna make my number 1 sound stupid because, well, that kind of also happened, but you know, I don't know. They just don't show them together enough for me to be like, yep, number 1 or 2.
And like they don't have any scenes. They never have a scene together unless it's them fighting.
Yeah, and that's it.
Yeah,
or it's like super awkward, and I'm like, could be better. I don't know. The one where you could actually had like people that visit the website voting had it at number 1. The other one I was looking at has it at number 2. Their explanation is, can't even explain their love. They are in love since they were just kids. They both were slaves, but still could maintain love and courage. They had meaningful love. Except for the fact that, again, he literally tried to kill her so that he could bring about Zareth.
Yeah. Nah.
No. Again, maybe arguable for top 5, but not 1 or 2. Not even remotely. Number 2 on the one for voting is Gray and Juvia.
I hate this one.
Yeah, you said that. Why do you hate it so much?
Dude, when they portrayed the Juvia and Gray one, Gray had nothing to do with it. He didn't want to do with it.
You're not wrong.
Then Juvia was a stage 5 clinger the entire time.
Yeah.
Acted like the girl from Wedding Crashers.
Okay.
And basically Stockholm syndromed Gray into a relationship.
Sort of. I'll give you that.
Because he didn't have anything to do with it until finally he broke down and Juvia actually was in some trouble and saved her, and then all of a sudden they're in love. No.
I wouldn't quite say that's how that worked.
It felt that way. It felt that way.
Yeah. The first moment in the show where you realize they're finally starting to get to that point, I think, was in Grand Magic Games when he straight up died, and then Ultir was like, nah, F that, I'm going to reverse time.
Yeah.
That was the start of it. The biggest moment, though, was in Tartaros arc.
Whenever she's about to die.
Nope. Not then. When she kills his dad. She doesn't kill his dad. She kills the necromancer controlling his dad, which effectively kills his dad.
Yeah.
Because he basically, Gray's whole thing is he struggles with the fact that his parents died to a demon who, I think, no, he didn't have ice power. Did he?
Yes. No. Okay. The demon who had ice powers killed his parents, supposedly.
Well, they straight up did.
And then the same ice demon got free and killed his master because she used that ultimate
ice shell.
Yeah, ice shell.
Which essentially turned her into said thing that put it encased in ice for essentially eternity unless you find a way to undo it, which they did, but that was way back in season 2.
Yeah, it was a long time ago, but that's what
he
happened.
Struggles with that, and his dad gets essentially brought back to life by this necromancer dude that's in Tartaros, who is this bad group trying to essentially bring about. They're actually the demons of Zareth.
Yes,
and they're trying to get him back. They resurrect his dad, who has ice demon slaying magic. And essentially, he's struggling with the fact that, to get these guys to stop, he has to fight his dad. While Juvia's off fighting said necromancer, she kills the necromancer, straight up. A lot of the things you don't see him actually die, he straight up is dead. They've confirmed that in the show. He is dead. and it effectively kills his dad. And at first, when she shows back up, it looks like he's mad until he just breaks down and is like, "Thank you. Like, this had to be done. Like, and it couldn't have been done by anyone else but you. Like, thank you." And that's where you see him start to really like see her worth.
That's still a far stretch for me.
Sure, I'll give you that. They develop it more in the current season, but yeah, I'll give you that one.
Okay.
Like, I see why some people don't like it because of the whole Stockholm Syndrome thing, which, if you watch Big Bang, then I could also say Leonard literally did the same thing to Penny.
Oh, yeah, he did.
But again, it's what shows do. It's a way to get what they want out of it.
Yeah. That's what I also don't like that relationship, by the way.
Oh, all right then. Well, at least you're consistent.
Yeah.
The other website had them at number 4. And, I mean, you know, you basically know it says, obviously, Juvia is very crazy about Gray. She is obsessed with him. Well, we all been there. But no matter how much weird she looks, again, not the best sentence structure here, when she does that, she is still very beautiful. Gray realizes that later on. When Urza mentioned it, I think they're a perfect couple. I mean, I'd put them in my top. I like the pairing. I understand your reasoning, though. You liked him better with Lucy.
Yeah,
you?
I thought Lucy and Gray. I thought Lucy and Gray did way better than Natsu and Urza.
Yeah, for the people that like to not pair the obvious ones, that's probably the most popular is her and Gray.
Like, it makes a ton of sense.
I mean, in the show, they kind of hint at it because, you know, Juvia's like, she's my rival, when, well, she really doesn't actually give a crap.
Yeah, but like, it just makes so much more sense. Privileged magic user that came from aristocrat family meets bad boy Gray who has nothing. Like, it literally fits the stereotype.
That kind of fits Natsu too. Like,
see,
rich, privileged mage meets dude who was raised by dragon.
Yes, but Natsu's almost, to me, the character that doesn't need a ship.
Yeah, but it kind of gives him a reason at times to fight. Like, he always has his friends, but she's always the first reason.
See, I never got that. I always thought it was friends. Like, some episodes,
I did at first, but I saw something where people pointed out that every time he says, like, why he's fighting, it's always for Lucy and his friends.
Okay.
It's always her first.
All right, but
Also, I mean, you know, Happy likes her too, so
yeah,
positive there.
I don't know. I like the Gray and Lucy version better than Natsu and Lucy.
Okay.
I can see them both, but if I had to choose, I would rather have the Gray and Lucy one.
I'll give you that one.
So,
I mean, I like the pairing with him with Juvia, but yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Third on both of them, and my number one, because, well, it should be number one, is Gajil and Levy.
How old is Levy?
I don't know. How old are any of them?
I always thought she was a little kid.
No, because her and Lucy talk back and forth about all kinds of crap.
I guess which one's the Wind Dragon?
That's Wendy.
Oh, okay.
Levy,
that's who I had in my head, and I was like, how old is she?
Levy is solid script magic user.
Okay. No, I like that one.
Yeah, no,
I like that
hands down. That should be number one.
Yeah, I like that one.
And if anybody questions it, I will fight you over this because it is hands down the best developed relationship in this whole show. Because, and again, it's going to sound hypocritical for my reason not liking the Jalal Urza, because at the start of this one, Gajil straight up beats the crap out of her and her two buddies. Yeah, and that's our introduction to Gajil. But over time, you see him turn into such a good character, and you see her get over what he did and start to see who he can be.
Right.
Like, he was always this hard exterior dude, and she just slowly eats away at that.
Exactly.
And it's not forced. Like, it is the most natural relationship in this show.
I was just getting ready to say, that one actually morphed into, not a Stockholm Syndrome one, like Juvia and Gray. It morphed into a natural progression. Yeah,
because neither one was that quick on it. It's just, it did. And the best part of it is it's like an actual relationship, because he picks on her so much. And the new season, which it's spoiling some stuff for you, but at one point in it, he's going off with another group of mages. He's going off with Elfman, Lizana, Mira Jane, and I think one other person. Like, basically the B squad in Fairy Tail.
That's going to say, that was a really weird compilation of people.
All, Natsu, Lucy, Urza, and Gray are the A squad. Right. He basically took the B squad and was going to go fight Zaref's army in the opposite end of the continent because, well, he's basically coming in from every side.
Right.
And he's like, nope, screw that. I'm going up here. And he left her behind purposefully, but he doesn't tell her that. She's like, why did you leave and not tell me? He's like, oh, you're so small. I thought you were in my bag. Like, that's the relationship it shows them have. It doesn't show, like, him. It shows her have that, like, side towards him. It shows her straight up, like, wanting to be with him, but he tries to hide it in that way where he just picks on her.
That's what a tough guy would do, though.
And this is the biggest spoiler, and this is where I put it at number 1. Even, like, if this moment doesn't put it at 1, you're wrong. In this season, they're fighting one of Zaref's, like, 12 generals, essentially. The Spriggan 12 is, like, his top 12 strongest hand-picked generals, essentially, is what they are.
Are they elves? Spriggans?
No, they call him Lord Spriggan.
Oh.
Or Emperor Spriggan, so they're the Spriggan 12.
Interesting.
Well, Spriggan's like a dark fairy.
Okay, that's what I was like. Aren't Spriggans like elves or something?
They're like dark fairies.
Gotcha.
But yeah, and one of them essentially is made of like Bane particles, which in the show is essentially like gnarly poison. And this dude is death itself. Like, not even kidding.
Okay.
He is death itself. Like, he has a thing where he can literally pull you into the underworld. Like, he controls an army of, like, skeletons, shit like that. Like, he is death. And they're fighting him, and he tells them, if you're even around me, you're breathing this crap in, you're gonna die. Gajiel's like, screw that. Like, I can make myself made out of iron. Like, I'm good. Levy's like, screw that. I ain't going to let him fight by himself because that's who I am. So she does solid script mask. Well, he thinks that it's working. And she acts like it is. She straight up tells him, she's like, nope, this is working. Like, I made a mask. We're good to go. Except she forgets to tell him that Bane particles get absorbed through the skin, not your lungs. So the whole time she's fighting with him, she's literally like absorbing this crap and it's killing her. He, being who he is like, you know what, screw this. I'm just gonna like, he's been behind every Dragon Slayer in the show. He was the last one to go into like his Dragon Force state. He was the last one to get an Exceed, which is the flying cats in the show. He's always last.
Right.
Well, they've all at some point gotten like some other, like Natsu is a fire slaying dragon. Well, early in the show, he gets fire lightning because he eats some of Loxus's lightning. So now he's got 2. And Rogue can do the white shadow dragon thing. Well, he doesn't have one of those. He ends up absorbing the Bane particles, and essentially, instead of now being iron, he's able to harden himself into steel.
So he just gets an extra hardening ability?
Sort of.
That's a really far stretch.
You'd have to see it to understand it, but the dude they're fighting, realizing he's about to lose, does what is supposed to be like his ultimate move and is like, you know what, screw it. I'm about to die. I'm taking you into the underworld with me, and you literally can't get out of this. And as he's pulling him in, you see Gajiel finally break. Because Levy's going after him, and Panther Lily comes up behind her and grabs her. And it's like heart-wrenching, dude. Like, this show's not known for heart-wrenching. This was kind of, it pulls at you. And so she's like begging with him, like, no, like, I'm going to get you out of this. And Panther Lily comes up, grabs her, and is like, I can't lose you as well.
Is he in his big panther form or his tiny panther?
Big.
Okay. That
big.
Only works if he's a big panther.
Yeah, no. He's in his big form at this point. And as he's getting pulled in, Gajiel lets everything loose. That's when he finally breaks down. He's like, losing you is the only thing that has ever scared me. He's like, I wanted to be with you forever. Like, I wanted to grow old with you. He's like, but it's not going to happen now. He's like, this scares me more than anything ever has. And that's when you see him finally break down. And I was like, hands down, number 1 couple.
Yeah,
if you want
I
to
like that
argue
one.
with me, I will fight you over this.
Do you think he's really dead, though? I know Fairy Tale.
No, he's not dead.
Okay.
Literally, next episode, in the manga, I think it took like 2 chapters, but just because they had to spread it out further than what an episode does.
Yeah.
But literally, next episode, it explains what happens. He's not dead, but it was that moment that I was like, done. Don't even care anymore.
That one was good.
So, I don't care what either website says, that's number 1.
Yeah, I like that one a lot.
I don't understand how you put it at 3. It's number 1.
Because there's people who don't watch the show that much.
Dude, I don't know. Another one they have in here, which they kind of develop, but I don't really see it as one of the stronger ones, is Elfman and Evergreen. They kind of show it, but it's not really developed all that well.
Yeah, I don't think that one's one.
I mean, I won't argue against it, but again, I'm kind of like, they did okay with it. For some reason, the one site had it at like, where was that one? That one's at number 5 somehow on it. Again, don't get that one really.
Yeah, I don't get that one. Do they have Mavis and Zareth?
Yes.
That was one I was going to argue to be a strong one. Because it's
the one site that doesn't have the fan votes has it at 5.
Okay, I was gonna say that's a top 5 for me.
Yeah,
it's
the
literally
fan voted
life and
one.
death.
Yeah, the fan voted one has them at 6, so close. But yeah, that it's an interesting one because he's known as the Black Wizard. Essentially, he gets. If you watched, actually no, it's just the new season. They have like 2 really good episodes explaining like his story.
They have to because Zero Year didn't explain. They explained the backstory.
They explained Fairy Tale's backstory, not Zareth's.
Yeah.
Essentially, when he was younger, his family got like killed. I don't remember by what, but they're all dead, and including.
You don't have to answer this fully, but do they explain who the family members are?
Yeah. And I think I've told you who
I know.
Yeah.
I'm just not going to say it out loud.
Yeah, no. It tells you who one of them is. So he's trying to figure out how to bring people back. He loses his younger brother, is all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
And he's hell-bent on finding a way to bring his younger brother back. Mom and Dad, as much as he hates it, he's like, I can live with that. He's like, I can't stand the fact that my younger brother died before me.
Right.
So he's trying to figure out how to bring him back. And eventually, I think he finds this spell, and he gets hit with what is called the Curse of Contradiction. The more you care about life, the more life you destroy. So essentially,
Does it say who cursed him?
Some god. His
It would have been
backstory
cool
looks
if it was
like
Mavis.
No. I'm getting to what goes on with Mavis. But no, his story kind of looks like it takes place. It's not supposed to be Greece, but it's kind of set up to look like that.
Okay.
And yeah, it's some god like hits him with this curse of contradiction. So the more he cares about life, the more he destroys it. The less he gives a crap about anything, the less destruction he causes.
Makes sense why he hasn't cared.
Yeah, makes sense why he doesn't give a crap right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, eventually, along his journeys and along Mavis's journeys to making Fairy Tale, they run across each other. And essentially, she doesn't see him as a bad person. Like, she doesn't get what's going on. She doesn't realize that he basically destroys everything if he feels like it. And he teaches her magic. He teaches the other founding members of Fairy Tale magic. And she casts a spell that she shouldn't be casting. She gets hit with the Curse of Contradiction. So now the same thing happens to her. The more she cares about life, the more things die. And she doesn't realize how much it's going to affect her because at first she's like, oh, it can't be that bad, yada, yada. And like she runs into Zareth and he explains everything to her. He's like, why do you think I don't care about anything? And she's like, what? But you do, yada, yada. And he's like, no, I really don't. And she goes back to the guild and Makarov's dad, Makarov had just been born.
Oh, so his grandpa. Okay.
Well, Makarov's dad, Loxus's great-grandfather, Yuri, I think was his name. And you just see him born, and Yuri looks at her and he's like, Mavis, I want you to name him. And that's when the curse kicks in. At that point, she realizes how precious life really is, and Makarov's mom dies. And she figures out that it's because of her, so she just bolts out of the guild hall. She's like, nope, I know what I just did. I'm gone. And essentially for the next year, she has to come to grips with the same thing Zareth did at first. Because the more she cares about life, the more she's destroying. It shows him show back up and them kind of live together, trying to not care, but they fall for each other. And it puts her basically in a coma.
Yeah.
Because, the more you care about life, the more it kills it. But she also is the same. They're both immortal. So she can't really die, but it kind of tries to, which is why in the new season he's after her, because it created some really powerful magic out of it.
Yeah, because it's a loop.
Yeah, essentially, yeah. It creates what they called Fairy Heart, and now she literally has an infinite amount of magic power. In the show,
so Zareth wants to get it.
Yep.
To bring back.
He wants the power.
Yeah, that makes sense.
He doesn't want it to bring back. He wants it to destroy Agnologia. Who, if you haven't watched the show, is essentially the dragon version of Zareth, but
Oh wait,
actually is straight
dragon?
up evil. Yeah.
Oh,
Agnologia is the black dragon.
I thought Zareth created Agnologia.
He did, but he realizes that was a horrible plan.
Does it say
he kind of did it in a roundabout way? You figure out in this season, you figure out where the Dragon Slayers all come from and how they came to be and why Agnologia turned into a dragon.
Dang it! I'm gonna have to go home and watch all this now.
It's so good.
I know. You just made me lose 6 hours of sleep.
Well, don't watch it tonight. I'll watch it with you. I'd put that up there in the last of my top 5 because it is an interesting relationship.
I wouldn't put the
two.
Elfman and Green up there.
Elfman, Evergreen, yeah, that one's weird. Really, after the main 5, you get into some weird pairings.
What about the card magic girl?
Kana.
I thought Kana had a relationship that I really liked, but I can't remember with who.
I know who you're talking about. Drunk dude.
Yeah.
That one is Kana and Bacchus.
Yeah.
And, they kind of developed that one, but it literally just works because they're both drunks.
I think that, yeah, I'll just leave it at that.
I don't know how else you put that one. They are both drunks. She drinks a lot. He drinks a lot. His fighting style is literally drunken fist.
Yeah.
They drink a lot. Probably there's 2 more that I'd say are solid ones. Happy and Carla.
Obviously.
That one's almost kind of a Stockholm Syndrome one if you're going to argue the Grey Juvie one because Happy's always after her. But it's not like she ever is no, get away from me. She acts like she doesn't want to admit she likes him.
That's what I was getting at on that one.
Yeah. That one's more of a I can't admit I like you because I'm a child thing.
Yeah.
And then the last one I'd say is another solid one is involving Wendy and Romeo.
Which one's Romeo?
Do you remember season 1, the dude that Natsu had to go save from Mount Harjion?
Yes.
His kid.
Okay. You know what's one that's not on there that I'm really surprised isn't?
Which one?
Urza and Jalal.
We said that one earlier.
I didn't hear that one.
Yeah, I said that was number 1 on one list and number 2 on the other.
I didn't think you said Jalal. I thought you said something else.
No.
I'm sorry.
I was arguing about how he tried to kill her.
That's right. I was thinking of some other dude.
If you're gonna put Gray with Lucy, the other pairing I've seen then is Natsu and Urza.
That doesn't work with me. That's
Neither one of them work with her.
It's a sister-brother thing.
Same with Gray. The people that put that on, I'm like, I get it to an extent, but that's too much of a brother-sister relationship.
There's an argument there for Urza and Gajil. A very slim one. Yeah,
the only there's some I can see other pairings. I literally only see Levi and Gajil. I don't see them with anyone else in that show. Ever.
Well, the other thing about Jalal and Urza is that they almost to me developed a brother sister relationship more than a actual like relationship in my eyes.
Some of the flashback stuff shows like her liking him, and that like
I
really,
just took it up.
like,
I looked at it as like, oh, that's like a younger sister looking up to a brother type
I could
of
see
thing.
that argument too.
Like that's
But I
what
don't know
I
who
also...
else to put her with. Like
Urza and Natsu to me seem like the two characters that don't need a relationship.
I could see that.
Like, especially knowing what I know in Fairy Tale,
I mean,
they make sense not to.
The only one that's actually confirmed as a relationship, which I don't know why would be on this list since it's actually confirmed, is Alzak and Biska, the two Western people. I'm like, I don't know why you're arguing that one. It's literally canon.
Like, they literally have a kid together.
Yeah. None of the rest of them are actually confirmed. Even, I think Gray and Juvia might be. Natsu and Lucy never get confirmed as a couple, even though you can argue they are. But this one, literally, they have a kid together. Like, I don't know why you need to put that in a list because, well, there's no arguing that it's a couple.
Yeah.
One other weird one I've seen is Mira and Loxus.
Is that the redhead?
No, Mira Jane.
I could see that one.
The demon takeover.
Yeah, I can see that one.
Like, you know, season 1, I don't do anything. And then as the seasons progress, she's like, you know what? Screw it. F everything.
Yeah, I can see that one.
Kind of.
They
but
both
they don't
have
really,
the same personalities.
They just don't really develop it ever. Like
They don't, but I can see it, though.
Yeah.
I really don't like Loxus, though.
He gets better.
Even in this season, because I didn't like him in Tartarus.
Really?
Like,
I thought he's gotten
his
better
hatred
for a while.
His hatred for Natsu is so misplaced. I know, but it was so misplaced at the beginning of it.
Everything about his hatred and anything was so misplaced at the start of that show.
It was so, like, just forced in there. It's like, this has to happen because it's going to need it to happen. And I didn't like it.
His hatred of anything in the first season was misplaced.
Yeah. Like,
he was just an angry teenager.
That was drawn to look like a 30-year-old.
He's not actually a teenager, but that's what he was acting like, was an angry teenager. But, you know, like anything, the strongest dude actually in the show, barely in it.
I don't think he's the strongest, but...
Gildarts?
Oh, I thought you were talking about Loxus. My bad.
No, Loxus is shown plenty. They barely show Gildarts. Like, at one point, he shows back up, and I'm like, oh, sweet, he's going to be in this. During the Tenro Island arc, I was like, oh, sweet, they're going to do more with Gildarts. And as soon as that was done, he's like, bye.
Is his gravity...
No, he literally, like, cuts magic up smaller. Like, I don't really know how to explain his, because in the fight we see with him and Natsu, where he's trying to become the S-class wizard, he literally was like, I have to hold back so much, or else I would literally destroy you.
Okay.
Because Natsu's like, oh, I got the upper hand. He's like, do you realize how much I'm holding back right now?
Yeah.
And then he, like, did something and, like, cut Natsu up into, like, 20 different baby little Natsus, and I was like, what the F?
Yep, I remember that now.
Like, they don't really explain what his is, and I'm just like, who is this guy? Like, about the time you think he's going to be in the show, he's just like, okay, bye again.
But at least his pays off, though. You know who one that was the most, like, cool, looked the coolest and acted the coolest, and they did nothing with and ruined his character?
No.
Mystigan.
Yeah, but Mystigan's just Jalal.
I know. They ruined it with that. Mystigan could have been so cool.
He could have been. But having gone back and seen the
How it played out.
Tower of Heaven arc, and then seeing Mystigan, I'm like, now I'm like, yep, that was definitely him even beforehand.
He was so cool, and then that happened.
He was,
and then I'm like, that ruined Mystigan.
By putting him into the alternate dimension, you go, oh.
Yeah. Also, the worst arc in Fairy Tale.
Really?
I think it's either... Yeah, it has to be that one.
I haven't seen that one argued as the worst, because I'm pretty sure that one's actually canon. Like, that wasn't
Which one's the worst?
I've seen people argue
the Assail.
Key to the Starry Heavens arc.
Ooh, that one's up there, too.
And then the Eclipse arc with the celestial spirits going nutso.
I didn't mind that one,
see alternate versions of them. Like
that one was.
Gray has to fight cancer in a dance off, and I was like, ooh. Some of the
some of them look cooler, some of them didn't.
look cooler, but the arc as a whole, I was like, it wasn't a great one. Like, I'm not gonna say any of them are horrid because I like it all, but yeah, that one wasn't great.
Yeah, Key to Starry Heavens is up there.
Yeah, I've never seen anyone argue the Daedalus arc as being one of the worst.
Well, I didn't like it as much, is what I'm just trying to get at.
I could give you that one. I mean, it wasn't great, but you got to see different sides of people. You know, instead of Natsu being nuts, he's literally a scared little baby half the time.
Yeah, I don't like that one.
It was a different way of going about it. But then we met Panther Lily, dude.
Yeah, you did get Panther Lily out of it.
See, he doesn't have a relationship, or he doesn't have a ship because, well, he's Panther Lily, and he's just like, screw that, let me fight.
Yet, there will be someone.
Well, unless they do something in the 100 years or 100 years story they're in, because the end of like straight fairy tale, nothing. I get 100 years is like literal straight continuation. Like, I'm pretty sure next day is when it starts. But as far as just fairy tale, nah, nothing. Which I'm also way behind on the manga for the 100 years art story or 100 year quest one.
Well, I'm ready to see the end of this one first.
Yeah. I've been reading the manga to stay like up on that because, you know, I just fell in love with the show.
Yeah.
But yeah. Gagio Levy, my easy number one.
I will give you that one for sure.
After that, you could interchange a couple here and there. I'd put Mavis Zera 5, rounding that one out. The 3 in between those, you can make a case for any spot on that, honestly.
Yeah, with the ones that we listed, for sure.
And, I mean, you could look at other ones outside it, but I'm not going to argue whether those are good or not because they're probably not that developed. No. There's a bajillion pairings I've seen, but out of the main ones, hands down that one. If I had to pick, I'd probably put Gray Juvia 2 for myself. I get you don't like that one. I like it.
That would be my 5.
That'd be your 5?
Yeah.
I'd put probably Natsu Lucy and then Urza Jalal. Just because the Urza Jalal one, I feel like there's not enough there for me to put it above 4. Like, I could try, but they don't give me anything to work with.
It'd definitely be 5 Gray Juvia. Then
who's your 1? Are you sticking with my 1?
Yeah, your 1's good. I like that one a lot. I forgot about it when I was sitting there thinking of them.
I thought you might because I was like, ooh, I'm going to wait to tell you mine until
I thought you were going with Juvia and Gray, and I was like, oh, please, God, don't go with that one. Mavis Zeref at 4, Natsu and Lucy at 3.
Urza Jalal 2 then?
No.
Kata Bacchus?
That's a good one, but I don't know if that would be a 2.
You're not going to put Urza and Jalal in your top 5.
No, I'm not going to put them in my top 5.
Just not enough to go on, I guess.
I just see it more as a brother-sister relationship.
I'll give you that one too. It kind of is. It's not as much brother-sister as Gray and Natsu with her, but yeah, I could see it.
Yeah, but I really want Urza in there somewhere, so I'm like, where do I put Urza? But
if you don't think she needs a relationship, you could just put her out of your list and just be like, no, she doesn't need a relationship.
I am. My arguments fall with Natsu and Lucy because I don't think. Yeah,
but if you're gonna say he could be with someone, then you could put that in there. But if you don't see anyone for her, you just be like, nope, no one. She just is who she is, and she'll just always have like a unrequited love.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Her love is cake and sweets.
Yes. God, who's my number 2 then? All right, I'll just reshuffle it. 5 Urza Jalal, 4 Gray Juvia, 3
Mavis Zeref or Natsu?
No, Lucy Natsu. 2 Mavis Zeref. 1 Gagio and Levy.
Okay. I could see arguing for it. It's at 2 for Mavis Zeref. I just wouldn't personally, just because I'm like, eh.
If we didn't have that, we wouldn't have Fairy Tail.
You'd have Fairy Tail. You wouldn't have the last season of Fairy Tail.
There you go.
Because she made Fairy Tail Sora without Zeref showing up you don't have fairy tale because they never get their magic, but that might not still develop the relationship. But where it's at now, yes, you don't have anything in the last season without that.
And it's like a full circle relationship where it's literally yin and yang.
Oh yeah,
the representation of life and death.
Yeah, he's dressed out in black and she's dressed out in all white. So yeah, solid though.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's probably a weird episode if y'all are listening, but it was something I wanted to discuss with you.
Yeah.
So
it's been a while since we've done anime. So
yeah, and it was something, having been currently watching the last season of it, and having seen the episode where I was discussing the Gagio Levy thing go down. I was like, yep, definitely gotta talk about that, because I was looking at the internet and not enough people was giving that one. Everything I saw had them at like 3, which I'm like, I'm glad it's consistent, but y'all are dumb because that's number 1.
Yeah. Better than freaking Gray and Juvia. That one so upsets me.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure why the internet voted that at 1.
Oh my gosh. But at least number 1's not Urzin Jalal.
I think it was. Yeah, it wasn't one of them. No. Gray Juvia was never number 1. It was 2 and 4. Urza Jalal was 1 and 2.
I don't agree with that one either, but
no,
that one doesn't make me more perturbed than the other.
You can argue the Natsu Lucy one with me all you want. I'm still going to see Gagio Levy as being a better anime couple.
By far.
Really, out of any anime, they're probably the best couple I've seen developed in a show that, well, I guess anime show. Whereas you on a show in general, no, but anime, yeah, they are probably one of the best developed relationships in an anime.
For sure.
But yeah. You got anything else you want to add to this, Alex?
No, man, I'm good.
All right. Well, if y'all want us to talk more about anime, not necessarily this kind of anime stuff, but just anime in general, let us know, because Alex and I could do that all day.
Oh, yeah, we got a wide scope of anime here.
Yeah. But yeah, I think if that's all we got today, then this is JC Radio, and we're signing out.
Peace.